Alright, so this is going to be a tutorial on basic pan and crop. I'm going to just do some zooms, and these two clips here I'm going to transition between, and it will not be like a fade, it's going to be like a panning transition. So a couple things you might notice with these two: we're going to be zooming from this clip right into his eye, and important things to note: first off, it's his left eye, so we're not going to be zooming into his right eye, we're going to be zooming into his left eye. Also, this clip's moving, this clip's pretty stationary. Just some things to note. So the first thing you're probably going to want to do is fade the clip and kind of see how it transitions. And it looks like we're probably going to want to fix this. So first we'll fix the panning here, so it's just slightly zooming in. And if we watch this now, it kind of fades in with the clip. So it's a good start. Not too much going on here, obviously. So the first thing you want to do is you want to find kind of a beginning ground where you want the zoom to start, and I usually choose about yay big, about that much space. And then you'll go into the pan and crop, and you'll kind of see the things I like about Sony Vegas 8 is that it lets you kind of preview the clip while you're panning here. So we know that the eye starts right here because you can kind of see it there, and it's not fully there, of course, but it's just enough that we know that's where the eye starts. So we're going to zoom in right there. We're going to start right there. So we're just going to zoom right into the middle and move the pan and crop over to that eye. And you can kind of see it in this preview here, which I'll try and scale up for you. So you can kind of see where we're zooming here, and you can see the eye, but you can't really see his face all that well. But we know that his eye is right here, and that's all that matters in the end. So when you just want 2 keyframes, you don't need a whole bunch of keyframes in here. So a couple things we're noting now. About here, you start to see the eye, and we don't want that. So we'll bring this clip like this. So we'll have the keyframes at the start. And now you can see, once the eye starts showing up, he's about halfway there. So let's just bring this up. Now you can see it's really blurry. And that's what we want, because by the time you get to that eye, you're not even going to notice that the eye's there. So that almost works. I'm actually going to bring this here. Alright. So there you go. And there's your zoom. Pretty simple. But there's something missing here. First off, you notice this huge blur, right? And it's just kind of a fade transition, which isn't really what we want. It's a fade transition with a weird pan and crop. We don't really want that. So we'll go to our video effects, scroll down, or you can type it like I do. Just be like rad, and there you go. It's under quick blur. You just want to select this here, make it proportional, make the strength as high as you can probably get it without it doing that, and then go to his eye. It doesn't have to be perfect, but just so you can kind of see where you're going, so the direction's correct. And then go to the first keyframe and zero it out, and now when you zoom in, there will be, oh, it's not doing what I want. I hate it when it doesn't do what I want. Okay. So about here, we're probably going to want some blur. Yeah, there we go. I think this all comes kind of with practice. You just kind of learn what you want, and you learn how to get it. You know, you learn what you want, and then with practice you can get it. So now that's a little bit better, but it's still looking kind of like a fade transition. So what we do is we faded way too much in here, so we bring this closer. And now you get this instant transition. Now this is perfectly fine. Like if you were making an AMV and this was a scene you had, this would be great. But I like to do a little bit of editing on the end clip as well. So I want it to be like this. and then add some radial blur to it. So when it blends like this, it'll blend into another radial blur, and then you can kind of release that blur, and it'll make the transition actually make some sense. Of course, we want this to be proportional. Now, if you're doing shakes, if you're doing shakes, I do recommend fixed, but I always like proportional. Yeah, that looks a lot better. Yep. Now there's a little bit of a bob here, and I like that bob because that adds some impact to your shake. But if you really want to get into the bobbiness, you can actually shake the clip a little bit. So now when you kind of zoom in, there will be more of a bob. This is good for timing, like if you have some kind of a beat or something, and you want to add a impact to that beat. It's always good to zoom in and wah, wah, like that, yeah. So now that we've got this nice zoom into his eye, I want to basically go to this corner here. I just want to pan to that corner right there. But of course, you know, you can't just pan to this corner and get what you want. So you're going to want to make 2 layers, and you're going to want to fade the first layer. So now it's essentially the same thing as just doing this, but it's on another layer, and this gives you some freedom to do things you can do without fading. Yeah, that made no sense, but I think you get what you mean. So let's just zoom in, not too much, kind of a medium size, and you're going to want to go to this corner, because that's where you want to pan. I'm going to put that at the end, put this at the beginning. And you're going to want to make sure that these are set to smooth. You can do this at the end or the beginning or whenever you want to, but it really helps. And then for this, let's see how we want to do this. There's a couple different ways that I could do this. For example, if you look here, this color on the left side is the exact same color as the color in this corner we like. So if I really wanted to, I could just pan and make it look like this corner was connected. And the way you would do that would be you would copy this, and you'd scroll, and then you'd go insert remove envelope, and you'd click velocity, and you'd set this to 0. And what that does is it makes it the entire clip 1 frame, and then you would just zoom in all the way into here, do this little corner here, and you just keep zooming. I don't even know why that one dead pixel's there, but yeah, you would zoom in all the way there. And then now you have this background which you can use. So now if we take this and move it to the side, you can see there's this black background here. Yep. And so if we wanted to, we could do something where we have it up here like this, and then it goes to the regular. So now it would pan into him. Why is it doing that? Oh, that's why. Oops. Okay, anyway. So it would pan kind of like this. Oop. And then we need to make these smooth so it fits with the other clip. Anyway, so yeah. So that's one way of doing it. But obviously this looks terrible. So one thing you can do is, let's see, we can use linear blur and change the angle a bit here. And kind of blur it out is what we want to do. So one thing you should know about linear blur though is that if you use it, even if it's off, it gives a slight blur. It's really, really easy to miss, but if you have one very slow zoom or something and you're using a linear blur on that, it will basically act like a really light Gaussian, or Gaussian. I don't know if it's Gaussian or Gaussian, but So this is kind of, if you know, in video this wouldn't look too bad, but you can still kind of see it there. That bugs me. So I want to see if I can get it to do what I want here. So one thing you can do with radial blur is move it to the corner, and it'll blur out basically what you want. And because we're just transitioning, you can kind of screw around as much as you want. Now if we were doing like a zoom or something, and you messed around with like the position of the radial blur, like I'm doing right now, it wouldn't come out very well. It would look like you were zooming into the wrong thing. That's actually kind of cool looking. Look at that. It's like the blood is like doing something. Anyway, back to what I was doing. Let's see. So, oh, I get what I'm doing wrong here. It's because we start with a proportional and we end with a reset. Yes, there we go. And then we probably should add linear blur to this too. And what was the angle on this one? 114.5. Oops, 114.5. There we go. Yep, close enough. So now if you look at this transition, so it goes from just the regular eye and then it zooms into this other thing. And then it doesn't stop blurring because I did not fix that. So, yep, little things you can do. And you can just kind of mess with this until it looks right. I could spend hours and hours doing this, just this one scene, over and over and over until I got it right. Yep. Maybe shorten this a bit. Yep. And then, if I had like a beat here, I could add a little bit of a shake. One nice thing is that if you click the F on here, and you do the up arrow and the right arrow and the up arrow and the right arrow, that's one shake. And then you go to the 2 or 3 frames in, and you go down, left, down, left, down, left, down, left. And then you go in again, up, right, or up, left, sorry. Anyway, there you go, that's a shake. And that's the secret to shakes, and then you can just, like, copy this, I guess. I don't like copying and pasting shakes, but, yep. There you go. And with that kind of shake, you could even go in and, let's see, you could go in, add Gaussian blur, and then 2 frames in, make this 3, and make this 3, and 1 frame over and make it reset to none. And then just there. Copy that. Copy that. Copy that. And that should be reset. Yep. And you get kind of a, I don't know, like a, oh no, I'm dying, I'm seeing Gaussian blur. Yeah. So, I don't know if I can do RAM preview with this tutorial. Never really tried. But yeah, that's kind of just flow, basically. Yep. So, yeah, so hopefully with the next tutorial I can show you some more things. If you have any like requests on effects or things you want to see, I could do masking, maybe. I'm really bad at masking, but yeah, if I could do masking if you want to see masking. So, but yeah, give me any requests you have. Maybe you want to see me use bump map. You just go to bump map. Yeah, maybe you want to see me do that, or I don't know, anything. I can even do a tutorial on DVD ripping if you want. So, yeah, until next time, see ya.
When I dream, I breathe easy. A perfect ending, a perfect now.